We just started the second day. We had the first session, so we're back here at the Express Corner. And we have here with us Matteo Bonomi. So he has to delay his coffee at the moment for the break. We're going to do a short interview, a short conversation about his work in Istituto Affari Internazionali and his view actually on EU enlargement, which is the main topic of the forum today and yesterday, of course, of today's forum. So welcome to the Express Corner.
Thank you.
First, how are you feeling after these 2 days? Have you been here also yesterday and today?
Yes, absolutely. It was very interesting, and I really like the forum also, how much it's been regionally driven, because we have seen many initiatives over this year connecting the Western Balkans and working with the Western Balkans. But here, really, you can see a region that wants to become more and more a driver, especially civil society wanting to become more and more a driver of the process.
So, do you see that this kind of dialogue sort of is needed, like to have more often during the year, because sometimes we're inside our own boxes and behind our computers thinking about other people's problems without really talking to them?
I mean, this kind of community met quite often, because I mean we are among experts, but also in different subjects from the region. But I think I mean the idea to launch the forum, to have I don't know what are the plans of the organizer, but I mean this was the first year, but we had similar initiative, maybe connected with the civil society forum, connected with the Berlin process. I think these are important moments when many people working in their country, in their perspective, can meet and to meet also different perspectives.
During the past years, have you seen a need for a change in EU enlargement policy? Because we see that the environment is changing all the time, and the political situation, the rise of the right wing, and like, is Europe still interested in enlargement, and does it need to change?
I mean, enlargement is in the long-term interest of both Europe, meaning European Union member states, to be more precise, and the region. The problem is that this process has been too long. We have been on the edge of this region has been on the edge of accession for really too much long time, and there are many different factors that has contributed to this undue delay. And one of these certainly has been politics within the European Union and within the European Union member states. I mean, of course, especially after 2004 enlargement, we became an even more heterogeneous union, and then agree on sensitive issues such as accepting new member has become more difficult. And of course, this lack, this volatility within EU member states in their political orientation, of course, has negatively affected EU enlargement. The most famous episode probably is still the one when Juncker was just elected in 2014 as a new president of the European Commission, and he famously declared no enlargement under my sights, not under my mandate.
So moratorium.
It was perceived by the region as a moratorium. So all the process for quite a while completely lack of political credibility. It was probably not what he really meant, but at the end the outcome was this one. Of course, now the political situation has been changed again, especially after 2022, after Russian invasion of Ukraine. And there is renewed will, renewed momentum, as we often hear. Of course, this momentum is not eternal, and it's really what really matters is how we translate this temporary alignment of preferences among the member states in a long-term process that will deliver enlargement, that will deliver for real new member within the European Union. And this is the big challenge. And of course, after 20 years, one of the most crucial things is time, because and to reset the process and to show that is real, is authentic, and this is why there is such a big expectation, especially towards Albania, and Montenegro, that everyone hopes they can succeed to complete within the current Commission and EU Parliament mandate their journey. It's gonna be difficult. Technically, it's difficult, and especially because it's difficult to restart a process that has been proceeding so slowly and with some lack of credibility. So let's see. And of course, also politics within the member state didn't freeze, and we see how much is dynamic and how much many things can change. We see the permanent political crisis in France, and so on. So probably what we have seen in this year, that the main actor that was missing for the last, I think, 10 years in the enlargement process was the European Council, that basically took really little decision, now has been active again, and this is positive. Still, I think what we didn't really go through is thinking how to really reform a bit this process in a way that is more credible and more effective, more sustainable. And a forum like this one, I think, really could serve to push forward this reflection.
And for the end, let's just go a bit outside of the EU, because we're talking about the problems inside of the EU, but then outside of the EU, what would EU's role be in solving also some bilateral issues within the Western Balkans, and also some internal issues, for example, in Bosnia, bilateral issues between Serbia and Kosovo. So like EU needs to be a bit more proactive, because that was the blame mostly, that EU was very passive and it was heterogeneous in their own foreign policy.
This is exactly the phenomena I was describing. I mean, in these last 10 years, somehow the division of work within European institution has been really dysfunctional, and in this framework, the member states start to voice more and more and more, also on very, very country-specific issue, and it could be because to please their constituents, because they want a rule of law implemented, but could be also related with issue on national identity that really has not a lot to deal with EU acquis, as we see in Bulgaria and North Macedonia, and before with Greece. So the issue is really to somehow how to reform this process in a way that also this bilateral issue between the member state and the enlargement country don't become an impediment towards EU accession, especially if they are not really connected with the EU acquis and what the European Union does. So in a way that we need somehow to, at least to a certain extent, to depoliticize some of this aspect and have a better, more functional division of work between the member state, that they have to have a say, and the Commission, that should work more on the technical things.
And make it merit-based. Like with
absolutely. And this, of course, would help also to push forward the process. And I think at the end you need a real carrot of membership, also to deal with the most difficult bilateral issue that we have within the region, that are among the countries of the region, especially among Serbia and Kosovo. And I think it's necessary, but to be able to have the assets to deal with such a complex situation, we need an enlargement process that is fully credible. Otherwise, we have seen also, I mean, just put yourself in the shoes of a local politician. You cannot bet in the European Union when you are not sure that they will deliver, as it happened, for instance, in North Macedonia, just to mention the most famous episode.
Matteo, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me here.
You're welcome.